you allow a person who's willing to take a risk and invest their money and their time, that they can grow that business and they can be successful. We have to get the government out of the way. We have oppressive regulations and we have extremely high taxes in upstate New York, and it makes it nearly impossible for a business to succeed. And we've seen a drain of businesses, especially small businesses. So what can we do? Well, we can create an environment. We can talk about making the tax cuts permanent. We can talk about reducing or eliminating capital gains. We can eliminate the second tax on dividends. We can reduce corporate taxes from 35% to 25%. We have to make a business want to be here, and we have to do that by giving them some form of relief with the taxes and the oppressive regulations that we have in upstate New York. And I think that's what's going to promote true economic recovery, not throwing government money at it.
Ben, you're on 570 WSYR. Ben.
Hello. Hi, Anne Marie. Thanks for taking my call, and thanks for running. As a fiscal conservative, I hope you would vote against extending unemployment benefits now. And my point is, I really think that it just encourages people to stay on unemployment and not look for a job. I want to know if you agreed with that. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your call, Jeff. I do believe in limiting unemployment, but that goes back to the prior caller's question. We have to be aggressive, and we have to create an environment where businesses will stay here and will hire people. And passing cap and trade legislation and passing health care where these small businesses have no idea of how it's going to impact them tax-wise, they are not growing their business. They're concerned about more taxes and more regulations, and so they're not growing their business. So those two pieces of legislation have a negative effect about small businesses. But you're absolutely right, and I think the whole answer to unemployment is getting the government out of our way and making the tax structure that people can live with, that a small business can live with, and allowing jobs and small businesses to prosper.
One of the problems with that, though, Anne Marie, about when people run out of unemployment benefits, the way the economy is right now, if you don't have that extension, if you don't have that extra time to find a job and to have something to fall back on, and you've got a family, it makes it incredibly difficult.
You're absolutely right, Jim. And
I agree that some people want to stay on unemployment, but I think that the vast majority of people who have gone on unemployment have had jobs, and they want a job, and they want to work,
And I think what we need to talk about is the way unemployment is structured. And maybe unemployment should be after someone has a job, which they're not earning what they were earning before that, but they can get a job, and then unemployment supplements that so that they can support their family. So there is some incentive to get out there and work if you can, and then we will be there as a safety net so that people, because that as a society we do. I mean, we never want to leave, whether it's healthcare or whatever it is. We need to be aware that folks, when they are going through a hard time, they may need some help.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I think that's good. Mark, you're on 570 WSYR.
Hi, Ann. I was just wondering what your feelings are on hydrofracking. I mean, there was a big article in the Post-Standard this weekend, and I feel like it's definitely something we should consider. What do you think? Thanks.
Well, that's a very good question, and it's something that everyone's paying attention to here. I don't believe that would be a federal issue. That's really a local issue, and people in the localities would make that decision. However, you bring up such a great point about energy exploration and how we have to be aggressive in developing all sorts of alternatives for energy. We have to decrease our dependency on the Middle East. I think that's one of, and unfortunately we don't have a sound energy policy. We haven't had one, and we still don't have one, and I think it's something we really need to pay attention to. It strengthens our country if we can be independent of the fuel from the Middle East.
Well, I think fossil fuels, period. I think, what we're seeing in the Gulf right now, that could happen tomorrow on another well. And it could be twice as bad as it is right now. So, the sooner we get away from fossil fuels altogether, I think the better off we're going to be. All right, one more break, and then we'll come back with your questions. We have lots of calls to take for Anne Marie Burkle, who's running for Congress against Dan Maffei. This is the Jim Reith Show. It's time for all-day traffic and weather together.
On the thruway westbound between the Carrier Circle exit and the 81 exit, we have reports of an accident with injuries. Use caution and plan on delays in this area. 481 south at the off-ramp to 690, we have reports of a crash. Kirkville Road between Old Kirkville Road and Sheps Corners Road, we have an accident being cleared. Traffic is still heavy with delays in downtown on 690 west between Teal Avenue and West Street due to ongoing road work. Traffic and weather together on the 10s in the morning. In the WSYR Price Chopper Traffic Center, I'm Justin James.
It's certainly going to feel like summer here the next several days. Temperatures well into the 80s and flirting with 90 degrees at times as well. But we're watching out for scattered showers and thunderstorms for this evening tonight. Some of those can be heavy. We'll settle back to 68. More scattered showers and thunderstorms, 86 for your Wednesday. Thursday, we dry things out. Plenty of sun, but a hot day around 90. May have to deal with more thunderstorm activity into the day Friday. I'm Michael Palmer from the Weather Channel on Central New York's weather station, News Radio 570 WSYR.
75 in Oswego, 82 in Syracuse. Time for the Central New York Business Journal report, a service of St. Joseph's Hospital Health Center.
And now these business briefs from the Central New York Business Journal. The Brazilian firm that's hoping to take over Hardinge of Elmira has made a final push for the firm's shareholders to tender their shares before the 5 p.m. deadline on Wednesday. The company is offering $10 per share, but so far the Chemung County machine tool maker has recommended shareholders reject the offer. Filing medicine prescriptions electronically could prevent deaths and long hospital stays. The finding is part of a new report on e-prescribing from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield. The report gives healthcare providers a heads up that federal and state dollars are available for health information technology. Vacationers are filling up New York hotels this summer. The state's Hospitality and Tourism Association surveyed its 1,300 members and found 75% had 4th of July weekend business that was as good or better than last year. On Wall Street, stock prices posted gains for a sixth straight day. The Dow was up 147 points to 10,363. The S&P gained nearly 17, and the Nasdaq was up almost 44 points. For more business news, pick up the Business Journal or visit us online at cnybj.com. I'm Eric Reinhardt on News Radio 570 WSYR.
Burdick Lincoln Mercury's summer sales event is underway in Drivers Village. Luxury and technology has never been more desirable or affordable than right now, with flexible 0% APR financing or short-term leases, like the stunning new 2010 Lincoln MKS, lease for $499 a month. Lease the capable luxury of a 2010 Lincoln MKX for $399 a month. Or the sport luxury of a new 2010 Lincoln MKZ, just $369 a month. All leases 24 months with $3,000 down plus tax and fees. See Burdick Lincoln Mercury for complete lease offer details. Plus, for a limited time, buy or lease any new Lincoln and get 3 years of no-charge maintenance. Summer savings on Mercury Milan and Mariner 2 at Burdick Lincoln Mercury in Drivers Village.
It's a sensation.
You wouldn't want microwavable popcorn that took an hour to cook. And you've never heard a kid say, "Hey, Daddy, I would like an ice cream an hour from now." It doesn't happen. When you want something, you want it now. And Time Warner Digital Cable understands that. That's why they give you movies on demand. It's movies right when you want them in seconds, not hours like with satellite. Oh yeah, their on-demand can take like an hour to download the whole movie. You don't want to sign up for that. Unless you did buy the 1 hour microwavable popcorn, in which case it'll probably all work out for you.
Movies that download in seconds, not hours? Satellite doesn't have it. Time Warner Digital Cable does. Time Warner Cable, the power of you. Get digital cable from Time Warner Cable for $44.95 per month for 12 months. Call 1-866-339-7660 today. To receive all services, digital cable, remote, and lease of HD set-top box required. Some services not available to cable card customers. Some restrictions apply. All channels not available in all areas. All trademarks are the property of their respective owners.
Meet Mary Ellen Walsh, owner of a new Chevy Equinox.
One day I was driving the old Hyundai and I was going to pick the kids up. I was slip sliding all over the road. I had to have an all-wheel drive. These are my children, and that's when we started looking. We wanted to go with the Chevy Equinox because now I'm in this and I'm like riding on top of the world.
To hear more of Mary Ellen's story and to learn more about Equinox, visit Chevy.com and may the best car win.
If you think you're having a heart attack, the worst thing you can do is wait. Signs include chest pain, shortness of breath, back, arm, or jaw discomfort, severe nausea, or heavy sweating. And calling 911 right away could mean the difference between life and death. As Syracuse's only accredited chest pain center, St. Joseph's has the skill to treat